There is a great teacher in Tibet called Lama Tsongkhapa, Gelug tradition, very important teacher. He has praised the Buddha, saying that, Buddha, you are the one who really has seen the situation, and you expressed what you realized by knowing, by understanding. That's why you speak about interdependent relationship. And that's why we call you a great teacher. You understand that? This is the essence of Buddha's teaching, right? Interdependent relationship. Very important teaching and very profound teaching, very vast teaching. You need to really practice a lot in order to understand interdependent relationship. Unique teaching. Only Buddhism, interdependent relationship. I think. I think so. So that's why Buddha discovered that teaching through his own experience. So that's why we called Buddha is the great teacher. So if we understand interdependent relationship, we understand of everything. Everything. For example, how we deal with ourselves, with our friends, how do we deal with our environment, how do we deal with our food, how do we approach all them, and also how do we perceive these things. So everything, very important subject, interdependent relationship. And I think you should really think about this if you have time, if you have energy, you should think about this subject. Really think carefully how we perceive, because this is very important. Let's say, for example, when we see something beautiful, then what reactions do we get? If we get nice feelings from the sense thing, how does the eye consciousness work? Seeing, hearing, of each of these, one of these sense, when interacting with others, we get a feeling. The feeling we get is there are three different feelings, right? Either we are going to enjoy it, or we are going to hate it, or we don't care. So three different feelings. So when we get a nice feeling, for example, when you touch something that you like, then that feeling will give you a desire, right? Desire to you want to touch more, and that is we called attachment. Something you see or something you hear, you want to see or hear more, right? And it will give you sort of a desire. That's attachment. And this, makes us suffering. Definitely suffering. Most people don't believe that, but I don't care. It's definitely suffering. People like attachment. because it gives you sort of a desire to have that, and you think that's really makes you happy, but it's not. So attachment, what is the opposite attachment? Non-attachment, right? Non-attachment is the best. Non-attachment does not mean that you don't care. Non-attachment does, it means that you do not grasp, you know. Non-attachment is part of the, remember the four measurables, one of the equanimity. Non-attachment is part of the equanimity and leads to a more sort of spacious approach to your life. Non-attachment does not mean that you do not care and you don't have hope and aspirations, but do not grasp. So non-attachment comes from self, right? Self. So self, if you want to understand about self, interdependent relationship, you have to understand that in order to understand self. So basically, this is the underlying principle for creating karma. This is where comes from, this is how we deal with things. And we can't actually, the ordinary people like us, we can't walk away from that, because as long as we exist, we have to see, right? We have to hear, we have to touch, we have to taste, and so on. So some people say, oh, you cannot touch this and that, and you cannot look, then it's you want more. That's attachment. Then you want suffering. Some people say, oh, that's no problem. You can touch. There is a nice way of handling that. You can transform it and make it nice. But I think the bottom line really is, how do we perceive and how do we deal with them? That's the bottom line. Otherwise, we can't walk away from this, The Telopa said to Naropa, very nice, it is not the appearance that binds us. Understand this quote? Very famous quote. It is the attachment to the appearance that binds us. So the appearance, seeing, hearing, all this are no problem. All these things, Of course, the Telopa is the greatest teacher in Karja lineage. So this is really true, It's the appearances that not binds us. Just seeing, just hearing, things are not the problem at all, right? But basically our attachment and our hatred is coming from there. Or like this, dislike that, happiness, unhappiness, all these different things come from there. If we don't know how to deal with it, then this is our problem, right? Because people do have attachment automatically. No need to meditate on that. And people do have hatred. So where is that coming from? It is coming from the continuation of how we deal with these external things. Therefore, Buddha tells us, very important to understand interdependent relationship. If you really understand interdependent relationship and think about and it really gives you sort of not desire too much, less attachment. It's amazing. If you practice, meditate on that, definitely. But even though you just, think about it and understand intellectually, it really helps. So, amazing, these appearances, the things, you know. People think that's the problem, but I think not problem. How we perceive them, how we deal with them, then that's make us happy and unhappy. So therefore, Buddha tells us, you have never experienced the greatest feeling, the real joy, and the real happiness. That's why you have, Buddha said, that's why you have this problem. Which means Buddha had, I think, a different way of perceiving things, right? Very much different than us, I think, When Buddha seeing, hearing, all these appearance things, I think different perceiving, he is different sort of. Exactly, he, relatively, um, Buddha see, hear everything exactly same us, on a relative level. But I think different. I think the appearance is the same, but how he perceive and how he deal with this thing, I think it's different. But we don't know, actually. We don't know. We talk a lot we say that Buddha says this and that, Buddha did this and that, but really we don't know what Buddha really experienced. We understand how he teaches, right? How we work, but we don't know what really that different experience Buddha has. That different experience is something we have to achieve by ourselves through meditation. So when you achieve that, then I believe that, there is a different way of perceiving things. So the different way of perceiving things that Buddha says that's we called unity, right? Unity. Unity of what? Unity of subject and object, unity of body and mind, unity of relative and ultimate truth, all this united. We don't know. We don't know all this. This is very high level. But what are we looking for is a different experience of perceiving things from outside and different from what we do now. So that's why we talk about the practice. That's why we talk about accumulations of the positive karma. That's why we talk about purifications. All of them are searching for a different way of perceiving external and internal feelings. You understand? That's why we are meditating, right? We're meditating how we deal with this. Usually meditate, and then you have a difficult circumstance, you have to deal with that. Rather, don't get angry, don't upset, don't worry. Then you have to use this tool, use this idea of your meditation when you have difficult circumstance, difficult situation. That's the purpose of the meditation teaching. Everything we feel, we think, we do, is depends on something else, interdependent relationship, something else. So this is what in Buddhism is called interdependent relationship, right? So this is also we call emptiness. Emptiness means that everything is connected and interdependent. Everything is connected. So Buddha tells, the wisdom of the understanding of reality, the wisdom of emptiness is the only things that will be capable of bringing these goods. So this is very famous Buddhist subject, of course, because it tells you what the reality really is and how to approach to it. Interdependent relationship. That's why it's very famous subject. But interdependent relationship, if you understand that, you understand emptiness intellectually. Emptiness is the path, right? Path to enlightenment. But how is understanding of emptiness capable of delivering enlightenment? For example, if you know your things like your this flower, if you know this flower is emptiness, right? If we investigate, this flower is emptiness. But does that deliver enlightenment to you? No, no. What we need, the main point is emptiness on mind that is capable of delivering enlightenment. That's why a lot of masters, teachers tell that every existence depends on the mind. That's why we need to work with our mind. That's the mind itself is everything. If your mind is not there, you cannot perceive anything. All these things are, we are talking about interdependent relationship and emptiness, right? So this is actually how you approach to what do you call it? The enlightenment or liberation. It is kind of long-term goals, right? So that's why it's kind of important to know. But we are not there yet. So why we talk about these things? Why we talk about Buddha's experienced different things, how he perceived different things? Why we talk about emptiness? I think first of all, I think we need to focus on how to take care of our life and happiness. That's the most important. I'm not just talking about emptiness, these things good, but the happiness is I think most important. What is happiness? We need to think about short-term benefits of temporal happiness. That means the happiness experienced in samsara, cyclic existence, such as that received from heaven or wealth, friends, reputation, health, good rebirth, and so forth. And think of long-term benefit of happiness receiving from practicing the Dharma, mental happiness, and peace of mind, liberation, and enlightenment. So there are two kinds of happiness, right? Long-term, the short-term benefit of temporary happiness, long-term happiness. So there are two kinds of happiness. But first, we need to think about the short-term happiness. We must, I have that. The short-term, the mental happiness. So begin by wishing ourselves to have this happiness, not in not in a selfish way, and also wishing that our friends and living beings have this two kind of happiness. Think about that, right? You can think, you can think, you can think about that, you can feel, and you can imagine. So today I'm going to teach you, we're going to practice uh, Bodhicitta, okay? Um, so Bodhicitta, that is the cause of happiness. So you can think, you can think about others, like may my friends and all those who have been kind of to me have happiness and its cause. May they be free of suffering, confusion, worry, fear. May they have calm, peaceful, and liberated from all this misery of samsara. Keep in mind those prayers, those wish things. And then you think about specific and generate these thoughts and feelings towards them. Shantadewa is the best student of Buddha, and he's a guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life. Says that whatever worldly joy there is arise from wishing for others' happiness. It's called whatever worldly suffering there is arise from wishing for your own happiness. I think that's really true. That's why I like this quote all the time. Because look at the difference between bodhisattvas and the ordinary people. The bodhisattvas and the masters, the good teachers, always wishing that other sentient beings are happy and free from suffering. Always. But the result, their lives become meaningful and they can be happy anywhere, anytime, no matter who they are with, no matter what circumstance they have. They feel joy and peace and happy. I think because of they take care of others, this wishing. That's why the result, they have happy life. And they create great positive potential, therefore creating the cause for good rebirth and making it easier for them to achieve realization of the path, enlightenment. Bodhicitta mind is wonderful. And and we all can have that. Why not? You can make your mind beautiful. You can make your mind really miserable. It depends on you, how you deal with, how you perceive these things. So if you have bodhicitta mind, wonderful, and you always, no matter what circumstance, you are always happy. That's not difficult, actually. The bodhicitta mind, if you really meditate on it, it's not like emptiness. Much difficult. Emptiness much difficult than bodhicitta mind. Bodhicitta is easy and profound and really makes you happy. That's what we are looking for, I think. But I think the most important is, the you stay. You stay is the more important than what you say. You understand? you live, your life, your activities more important than what you say. I mean, it's easy to talk about emptiness, easy to talk about great compassion, all for bodhicitta, for all living beings. But about your mind, right? What about your mind? We must be careful not to sort of lecture. Um, we really, I mean, easy to say, may all sentient beings have happiness and cause of happiness. It's really, you just saying, or it really comes, you know, from your heart. You have to think about when you say these prayers, how your feels to everybody. That's very important. So we're going to practice bodhicitta, okay, with rest and meditation today. So by meditating, you are not trying to become perfect. You need to know that. Otherwise, you worry all the time. I can't meditate. I can't meditate. My mind is so difficult to control. So meditating, you are not trying to become a perfect, but to create more space and love in your life and love in others. We create that, That's the meditation. So first of all, we usually start by meditating on bodhicitta. The Buddha, when he recognized his comes from the royal family, you know that, right? So everything is very perfectly and enough, but he just really recognized the samsara. If he continue to do that, never give him happiness and also others happy. So Buddha himself recognized bodhicitta as an antidote to selfish. He recognized that. That's why Buddha suggested everybody practice bodhicitta, but especially selfish people practice bodhicitta meditation. I mean, I'm not saying you're selfish people, but the Buddha said that I suggested if you think only yourself all the time, you should practice bodhicitta. He says that. That means bodhicitta is antidote to selfish. So, I mean, always wrong, right? You know that selfish people always wrong. Uh, some people think that's not wrong, but it's wrong. So, bodhicitta is about kindness, about happiness to yourself, of course, right? And other living beings. It requires you to connect with yourself and to recognize others for what they are. To recognize as your situation is an example, right? Because you think about yourself, you want happiness, you don't want suffering, all these kind of things. That's an example for others, other living beings. Have you seen the Samsara movie? Some are there. Okay, I saw part of the Samsara um, on my Facebook. Somebody um, posted there. So hundreds of thousands of chickens and pigs and cows and suffering there. See that? There's a big machine. How you call it? Uh, what? like really big area, so thousands of chickens there, and big machines come and everybody's all the chickens smashed. How you say that? Crushed in this this machine. How we I just think of last night how we can eat chicken. They're like that, suffering all the time. I mean, I feel very sorry and very bad for people who work there. Thousands of people work there, kill all these animals every single day. Think about that. They are going worse and worse. This is karma. We all believe cause and karma. If you harm others, you will suffer. Definitely. If you help others, you will be happy. We all believe. Many people, don't believe past and future life, but all people probably believe cause and karma. That's not difficult to believe. We just see it, right? Cause and karma is happening. So these people are, I don't know what they think. Maybe they don't have kind heart. I mean, maybe. What do you think? Every single days kills thousands, hundreds of thousands animals like that. So that's kind of people. I think we need to pray and wish not reborn that kind of people or animals. Then just you so ignorance. They just don't understand. I think they just don't understand. They just want money. That's all. No open mind. I think how we can't help them. Just a wishing. Just a wishing. Think about that. It's kind of very difficult. So then you just go to supermarket and then you see this meat and chickens. One looks very nice and they are saying things very nice and deliciously. Looks the meats very delicious. They do that, but behind that, these animals so suffering. If you see that, you don't want to eat really. If you see that, but if you don't see and don't think behind that, then you just go there and you buy and cook and very delicious, like 1-2 minutes, then gone. Goes your stomach, and you can't tell what the difference between vegetables and this meat. Just your test, on a test, for the test we eat that, right? So just short time, then gone. But behind big situation there, we need to think about that. I mean, I saw that, and um, if you really attached to eat meat, you should see these movies, and then that's better than you meditate. That better than I teach you don't eat meat, become vegetarian. Much better because you feel, because you understand what is bodhicitta mind, you understand what is compassion, you understand dependent relationship, all these kind of things. Then you have open mind, you have a good mind, kind mind. You are a good person. You will see, definitely, and change your mind. Look, watch that movie. It's changed very easily if you have a kind mind. Very easily change. It helps. And otherwise, when we meditate and listen teaching, well, it's not good. To admit not good, but still you have not that feeling, very strongly. But if you see this, how they are suffering, who these people are ignorant, and then we we can understand. So first of all, meditate bodhicitta, sitting comfortable, okay? Sitting comfortable, and your back straight, and your shoulders relaxed and open, very relaxed, very open. Rest your attention on the breath in this moment. Deep breath. Think of this, okay? Death, since death is certain, but the time of death is uncertain. Are you relaxing? Think of that. No matter what your age, young, old, wealthy, pure, poor, no matter, the death is calm, but the time is death, no sure, uncertain. So now think, what is the most important thing for you to do at this moment? You possess this precious human life. You have freedom all, everything. Think about what are you good at? What do you enjoy? What do you want to do? What can you do for other living beings? Breathe in deeply a few times. What should we do while we have this precious human life? We have this power. We have a compassion mind. So we don't want to waste that. What you can do. Breathe in deeply. Experience your body fully. Experience your mind peacefully. In Bodhicitta meditation, you begin by visualizing yourself and wishing yourself very well. First, visualize yourself. Think about your situation and wishing yourself well. As you do so, repeat this verse several times in silence. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I be at peace. Repeat this verse few times. Then the meditation moves onto the people who close to you. You visualize them in your mind. Wish them well and silently repeat the verse that I told you, using you instead of I. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be at peace. Repeat this verse few times. Think about people who really like you. After this, the meditation is extended to send love and bodhicitta to the animals who are suffering, and you wish them well. Repeat the verse again. Using they instead of you. May they be healthy. May they be happy. May they have a freedom. After that, your bodhicitta, compassion, love, sent to all living beings and wish them well, and repeating the verse, using all living beings, may all living beings healthy, may all living beings happy, may all living beings have freedom. After that, when you tired or your thoughts, other thoughts arises, then focus on your breath and breathe in and breathe out very gently. When you have found the right spot, you will automatically experience inner peace with gentle concentration. Be aware of this inner peace and continue your meditation. So alternately, think about yourself, then think about your friends, your family, all that. Then think about animals who are suffering right now, this moment. So many animals killing, suffering right now, definitely. So think about that. Give them love, wishing. And after that, think about all living beings. Then just after that, relax, focus on your breath, breathe in and out very softly, slowly. Recognize your inner peace. So you may find that after this meditation, you feel open and warm and compassionate because the bodhicitta is powerful concentration. The bodhicitta meditation can be continued by opening your heart more and more. You feel other living beings more and more, and then you care other living beings, people, animals, everybody, so important in our life. You will understand that because of the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta's blessing your mind. It makes your mind open, makes understand all living beings important. So do that bodhicitta and focus on your breath, relax. So bodhicitta and relax meditation, both alternately, 20 minutes, okay? You need to repeat the verses. May I happy, may I be healthy, may I be peace, may I have this freedom. So you need to say this in your mind silently for 20 minutes